Have you ever eaten chili straight out of a Fritos bag? Or how about a sweet and sour neon pickle soaked in Kool-Aid? Well, stay tuned to learn about these and some other iconic regional dishes. Welcome to Pop Culture Passport, your ultimate guide to quirky and cool destinations across the US. I'm your host, Beth Scalacci, aka the Roman Yeti, here to help you dive into the world of theme parks, uncover film and TV locations, and explore quirky museums, roadside attractions, and legendary venues that capture the heart and soul of this unique country. So grab your pop culture passport and let's discover destinations that resonate with your interest, not just with what's trending on social media. Are you ready? Let's roam! Welcome back. For the past few weeks, we've been on a road trip across the country, stopping at oversized attractions, vintage trolley parks, movie filming locations, and even in places that inspired cars. But today, we're capping it all off with what I think is the best part of any road trip: the food. Specifically, the wonderfully quirky stuff you might only find in one state or even one town. We're tasting our way across the US with some of the quirkiest, coolest, and most unforgettable regional foods. And yes, I've personally had a couple of these, and I'll tell you all about it. So let's dig in. Now, every place has its own flavor, and sometimes I mean that literally. Some regional foods were born out of tough times, some came from immigration stories, and some are just, well, creative combinations that stuck. And these are the foods that locals love, travelers seek out, and the rest of the country just maybe scratches their head at. But that's what makes them fun, right? So let's talk about these seven regional dishes that I think are worth talking about. To start our trip, let's head to Minneapolis to find the Juicy Lucy. And I feel like this is one that a lot of people are familiar with. It's a burger stuffed with molten cheese, basically. Yes, the cheese is inside the patty. Now, what you may not know is the Juicy Lucy. And when I say juicy, I want to explain that there is no I in this version of the Juicy Lucy. Um, but this burger was created in 1954 at Matt's Bar in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And according to the bar's history, a customer requested this burger with cheese placed between two hamburger patties. Now, apparently, after biting into the molten center, he exclaimed, "That's one juicy Lucy," leading to the creation of this iconic dish. However, there is controversy. The 5-8 Club, another Minneapolis establishment, also claims to have invented the Juicy Lucy in the 1950s, though they do not specify an exact year. So, despite the ongoing debate, 1954 is widely recognized as the year the Juicy Lucy was debuted. Now, like I said, the spelling of juicy is Jucy, and that's actually a Matt's Bar trademark. Now, if you're going to try one of these burgers, be careful because that cheese is hot. It is like lava level hot at times. So, but if you love a burger and you love cheese, man, you got to try one of these. Our next stop is in Corinth, Mississippi for, well, another type of burger. Okay, stay with me. This one is called the Slugburger, and no, it's not what you think. It's it's definitely not slugs. Um, this one is a deep fried burger patty, and that patty is made out of a blend of meat and soy meal. It was originally created during the Depression to stretch limited resources. Well, the name, well, that came from the fact that it once cost a nickel, aka a slug. So today it's a point of pride in Corinth, Mississippi, where they even hold a Slugburger festival every July. It is supposedly a crunchy, savory burger. It's steeped in local history. I was looking up this information and even discovered that Mississippi has a Slugburger trail. So, if you're looking for a new and different kind of food trail and you're in Mississippi, maybe this one's for you. The next one we are I'm not even sure I'm saying this right, but I'm gonna go with Pickles in the Mississippi Delta. And this is probably to me the most unique one. So if you've ever looked at a pickle and thought, I should add this to Kool-Aid, well, I haven't either. Who has? But here we are. And Calicles were originated in the Mississippi Delta, and they're dill pickles soaked in Kool-Aid. So it turns them bright red or purple or whatever color Kool-Aid you're using, and gives them like this sweet and sour punch, apparently. Kids in the Mississippi Delta love them, and they've started showing up at gas stations and roadside stores. While the exact origin seems to be fuzzy, they started growing back in popularity just back in the 90s, and have roots to Southern culinary creative that even goes back further, because apparently in the 1940s, they were sticking peppermint sticks into pickles. So I guess the Mississippi Delta and pickles and adding them to stuff is definitely a tradition, and, if you have tried one of these, please let me know. I am very, very intrigued, because they have to be this bright, eye-catching color. It's definitely a combination I wouldn't think of, and I sort of feel like I need to try one now. So there you go. Let me know if you have. The next one is in Cincinnati, and even though we visited Cincinnati several times in the past few years, I was not familiar with this one until, looking into this topic. So it's called the Getta, and it's a breakfast food in Cincinnati, and it's made from ground pork or beef, steel-cut oats, and spices. It's formed into a loaf and then fried in slices. It was brought over by German immigrants in the 19th century, especially from the Hanover region, and it was originally a way to stretch meat and add hearty grains. And I guess, if you're familiar with scrapple, I think this is sort of like a Midwest cousin to scrapple, which is a Pennsylvania Dutch dish. But it began as a budget-friendly dish, and now it's a regional obsession. There's even a Geta Fest, annual Geta Fest. So, if you're in Cincinnati and that's your kind of thing, I am not a scrapple lover, being from Pennsylvania. So I think I would probably skip this dish as well. But I'm not yucking anyone's yum. So if it's your thing, go for it. Next, we are going to head to Texas and New Mexico. This is a fair and festival staple in the Southwest. So you take a small bag of Fritos, slice it open, pour your chili, put some cheese right in. Boom, you got yourself Frito pie. Again, this is one that people are familiar with. But it's just so iconic to me. I had to put it on. Some people then add onions or jalapenos. Some eat it straight out of the bag with a plastic spoon. Now, its origins are debated. Some say it started in Santa Fe in the 1960s at a Woolworth's lunch counter where Teresa Hernandez served chili and cheese over Fritos. Others pointed to a 1949 Texas recipe credited to the family of Charles Elmore Doolin, the actual inventor of Fritos. So either way, it's simple, it's salty, and it's good. I've never eaten a Frito chili pie right out of the bag, but I have had chili on my Fritos, and I highly recommend it. I love the crunch. I love the salt. Is it good for you? Probably not. I don't think anything on this list is good for you, but it tastes great. Now let's head to Rochester, New York to share with you one of these regional dishes that I probably have the most experience with, and it's called the garbage plate. Yes, it's the garbage plate. And yes, it's as chaotic as it sounds. My husband, who grew up in Rochester, introduced these to me. And let me tell you, it's not a pretty dish to look at, but it is delicious. All right, so picture this. It's a big pile of home fries, topped with macaroni salad. Yes, macaroni salad. And your choice of meat, usually a hot dog or a hamburger patty. If you're in the Rochester area, you're probably going to use Zweigels. If you have a Wegmans nearby you, you can get those Zweigels, as well. We get them here in Maryland. You then top this mess with onions, mustard, and this spicy meat sauce. Sort of think of like a really fine chili. Um, and you just layer these on top, and it becomes this glorious mess of flavors. I know. The mac salad sounds insane. It just sounds out there. I get it. When I first saw it, I was super skeptical. I was not in any mood to try this, but it has this like cooling, creamy sensation that goes with all the other hot foods that it's just really good. So definitely make sure you have it with mac salad. This this concoction of the garbage plate originated in 1918 at Nick Tahoe Hots in downtown Rochester, and it's still there if you want to go try an original. And it became a favorite among college students, late night snackers, and now anyone who's up for a good food challenge. It's like maybe the ultimate comfort food with no rules. I know, like I said, it's a combination that shouldn't work. Somehow it does. We make the meat sauce at home, and even I get requests from my daughter when she's home from school we make garbage plate tater tots. So we do the tater tots um instead of home fries, and then we put everything on top instead, but we don't usually put the hot dogs or a hamburger. We just do um the sauce and the mac salad and stuff. Delicious. So, if you're in the Rochester area, give it give it a go. A lot of restaurants have a lot of knockoff. So if they have a plate, that's what they're referring to, because I believe garbage plate is actually trademarked by Nick Tahoe's. So that is definitely one to give a try to. And I'm not defending this dish, but I sort of am. So Alton Brown, who is like big time chef, knows his food. He was apparently years ago heading to Rochester, and everyone told him to try this, and he was like not having it based on the description. Now, he actually did stop at Nick's and had it and had a total change of heart, and it's like, "Oh, this is really good." So, again, if it's your thing, give it a try. I totally get it if you're like, "That's skip," but, I'm not gonna be the garbage plate defender, but it is good, and I enjoy it, so take that for what it's worth. And now I'll stop rambling about the garbage plate, sorry. Now, our final food it takes us to Hawaii and the Loco Moco. So now this is a Hawaiian classic. Now this is white rice, a hamburger patty, brown gravy, and a fried egg on it. Sound familiar to something? It was created in the late 1940s as an affordable meal for teenagers in Hilo, and it's now a comfort food favorite. It sounds strange if you haven't had it, but again, I think it's one of those things that totally works. It's honestly, like, to me, sounds like the Hawaiian garbage plate, which to me, please take that as a huge compliment. I believe in one of our Hawaii trips, my husband had one of these and really enjoyed the Loco Moco. So again, another dish out there to try. So what I love about all these food is not that they're like weird or quirky. It's they tell a story about the region that they're from. Um, I feel like you can learn a lot about a place from what they eat. And sometimes it's about tradition. Sometimes it's about creativity of what's in the kitchen at the time someone orders something. And sometimes it's just, making do with what you've got. Um, I just again, it's a story, and I love the stories behind these foods. Now, if you're planning a road trip, these are the kinds of foods that I think make the best detours. Research what the food is, where you're going, pull off a highway, try something new, and it may end up being something that you never expected to be your favorite, but becomes a favorite, or at least becomes a great memory. But I want to thank you for riding along on this road trip series. I hope you've discovered some new places to add to your travel list and maybe even a few meals too. I don't know. If you've tried one of these quirky classics or you have a regional favorite I should taste test or know about, please send me a message. I'm always hungry for a good story. And with that, we add another stamp to our pop culture passport. I hope this episode inspires you to get out and explore all that is quirky and cool, even in your own backyard. Follow, download, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Tell a friend and leave a review if you like what we're doing. It really helps the show to grow. You can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Just search for The Roaming Yeti. Keep roaming and finding your fun.